Okay, in this lesson we're going to look at negative indexes. So we can see if we have a negative index, so it's raised to the power of a negative number, we can make it positive by we put it on the bottom of it or down the denominator of a fraction. So if we were to do the examples, so 5 to the power of negative 2 is actually the same as saying 1 over 5 squared, and sometimes we might square that number out, so we could say 1 on 25. So if we see 7 to the power of negative 1, we'd have 1 over 7, and we don't need the 1, so it equals 1/7. Now here we have to remember our rules, so we times everything out by the power, so it'd be 3 to the negative 1 and 5 to the negative 1. Now to make these ones positive, so we're going to put the 3 on the bottom to make it positive, and then we'll put the 5 up the top to change that one to positive. So by moving it to the numerator or denominator, changes the power to a positive. So I'd have 5 over 3 for that one. Okay, so here we've got a couple. So if we're asked to simplify here, so we've got x to the power of 3 times x to the power of negative 8. Now remember, if we're timesing of the same base, we actually add the powers. So 3 plus negative 8 is actually x to the negative 5. Now if we want to change that and make it a positive power, I'll put the x down the bottom and x to the power of 5. Okay, so with this, the second one, the t squared divided by t to the power of negative 5. So that's like saying t squared divided by t to the negative 5. And we know when we're dividing of the same base, we subtract. So we've got 2 minus a negative 5. So here we see a negative and a negative. Now that makes it a plus. So we're going to have t is 2 plus 5. So this one will be t to the power of 7. So be careful with those ones, because a minus, take away a minus becomes a plus. Okay, so here with this one, we're going to look. So we know we multiply the numbers together first. So I've got 15. And then because we're timesing of the same base, we're going to have negative 2, now plus 1. And then the y's will be negative 3 and plus negative 4. So if we simplify that out, it would be x to the negative 1 and y to the negative 7. Okay, so if I wanted to make them positive, it's just the letters that have a negative power. So they will go down the bottom. So there you go. All right, so over here, what we'll do is we'll cancel first. So I'm going to say 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 into 10 goes 2. So if I'm just tidying up, I've got 3m to the negative 5 now over 2m to the negative 2. Now these m's are dividing. So when we divide, we subtract. So it's minus 2. So there's another one that's going to become plus. So we'd have 3m, so negative 5 plus 2 would be negative 3 over 2. Okay, so that would be your final answer there. Or, sorry, if we wanted to make it positive, it'd be 3 over 2m3, because we'll just bring the m down to make it positive.